Hi, I'm Stacy Cole. Welcome to Eco Grow Garden Tips, where every garden blooms with possibilities and where we sprinkle in some humor to make gardening even more fun. Today, I'm sharing 10 organic gardening tips that will help you get the most out of your garden this season. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a newbie with more enthusiasm than experience, these tips will have you harvesting like a garden master in no time. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with choosing the right plant varieties. It's like picking the right friends to invite to your garden party. You want ones that can handle your climate. If you're gardening in a warmer climate, go for heat-loving plants like tomatoes, peppers, and squash. That combination thrive under the sun, while leafy greens, not so much. They're more the introverted type who prefer cooler weather. And if you want to avoid a mid-season disaster, pick varieties that are disease-resistant too. Your garden will thank you. And here's a bonus tip. Check your plant's days to maturity on the seed packet before you plant. You'll want to choose varieties that match your growing season length, especially if you live in a climate with shorter summers. It's all about making sure your plants have enough time to grow, thrive, and produce those delicious harvests before the first frost hits. Let's talk about soil. Think of it as your garden's all-you-can-eat buffet. It needs to be rich in nutrients if you want your plants to thrive. Start by adding compost. Not only does it feed your plants, but it also attracts earthworms. Those little guys are like your garden's unpaid workers, breaking down organic matter and enriching the soil. And don't forget cover crops like clover, which add nutrients naturally. It's like sending your soil to a day spa. And don't forget to test your soil's pH. Different plants prefer different soil acidity levels, so getting it just right can make a big difference in how well your plants absorb nutrients. You can easily grab a soil testing kit and adjust accordingly. Add lime to raise pH or sulfur to lower it. Your plants will grow stronger and healthier with balanced soil, and you'll be one step closer to garden perfection. Watering consistently is the golden rule of gardening. But, and here's the key, you don't want to water too much or too little. Your plants don't like extremes. They're not drama queens. A drip irrigation system is ideal because it delivers water directly to the roots without wasting a drop. And here's a pro tip. Use a moisture meter to check the soil. It's like a lie detector for your plants, telling you exactly when they need a drink. Another tip. Water early in the morning. Why? Because when you water in the middle of the day, most of it evaporates before it reaches the roots. And watering in the evening can leave your plants damp overnight, which invites diseases. So aim for a good morning watering routine. Your plants will be happier, and so will you. Companion planting is like matchmaking for your garden. Some plants just love growing together. For example, basil and tomatoes are besties. Basil helps repel pests while making tomatoes taste even better. And marigolds? They're like your garden's bodyguards, keeping pests away from beans and other crops. It's all about choosing the right partnerships. And who doesn't love a garden full of happy, coexisting plants? Another great combination is corn, beans, and squash, commonly known as the Three Sisters planting method. The corn provides support for the beans to climb, the beans fix nitrogen into the soil, and the squash shades the ground to prevent weeds. It's an ancient technique that works wonders and is a great example of teamwork in the garden. Mulch is your garden's best friend. It conserves moisture, keeps the soil cool, and stops weeds from crashing the party. Organic mulches like straw leaves or wood chips are perfect for this. Just think of it as a cozy blanket for your plants, but with the added bonus of breaking down over time and improving soil health. Plus, you won't have to pull as many weeds, which is always a win in my book. Another benefit of mulch is that it helps regulate soil temperature. In the heat of summer, it keeps your plant's roots cool, and during cooler months, it acts as insulation. Plus, as the mulch breaks down, it slowly releases nutrients back into the soil. It's a win-win situation. Your plants stay happy, and your soil stays healthy. And don't be afraid to pile it on. About 2 to 3 inches of mulch works best for most plants. Pruning is a must if you want a healthy, productive garden. Think of it as giving your plants a fresh haircut. They'll grow back stronger and produce even more fruit. Be sure to trim away any dead or damaged leaves. And don't be afraid to prune aggressively when necessary. Your plants will bounce back and reward you with a better harvest. And here's a little secret. Prune your plants early in the morning when it's cooler so they have time to heal during the day. Pruning also helps with airflow, reducing the chances of diseases. For plants like tomatoes, remove those suckers, those tiny stems growing between the main stem and branches. It keeps the plant focused on producing fruit, not extra leaves. To get the most out of your garden, you've got to call in the reinforcements. No, not your neighbors, but beneficial insects like bees, butterflies, and ladybugs. These little guys are your garden's unpaid workforce. They pollinate your plants and keep pests at bay. To attract them, plant flowers like marigolds, lavender, and sunflowers. It's like throwing a VIP party for all the right guests, and they show up ready to work. Don't forget to plant in groups. Beneficial insects are more attracted to clusters of flowers than single plants. Also, keep some plants flowering all season long to make sure these helpful insects stick around. And avoid using chemical pesticides. These can harm the very insects that are doing all the hard work for you. Crop rotation is one of those old-school tricks that never goes out of style. It's like giving your soil a well-deserved vacation. After you grow heavy feeders like tomatoes or squash, rotate with crops that give back to the soil, like beans or peas. Not only does this keep your soil happy, but it also helps prevent pests and diseases from setting up camp. Trust me, your garden will thank you. Here's a helpful guide. Rotate your crops in 3 simple categories: heavy feeders, light feeders, and soil builders. Start with plants that need lots of nutrients, like corn or squash. The next year, plant light feeders like carrots or onions. Then, finish with legumes or cover crops to replenish the soil. It's a simple system that keeps your soil healthy year after year. Here's a fun fact. The more you harvest, the more your plants will produce. It's like the garden version of, if you don't use it, you lose it. Regular harvesting encourages plants to keep growing and producing more. So don't be shy. Get out there and pick those tomatoes, cucumbers, and beans before they over-ripen. Your garden will keep rewarding you with even more produce. Protecting your plants naturally is easier than you think. No need to break out the harsh chemicals. Natural remedies like neem oil or insecticidal soap can keep your plants safe from pests while preserving the beneficial bugs we love. Diatomaceous earth is another great option. Sprinkle it around your plants to stop crawling insects in their tracks. It's like building a little invisible fortress for your garden. Also, consider planting pest-repelling plants like garlic, chives, and rosemary around the edges of your garden. These herbs can act as natural deterrents to common pests, giving your garden an extra layer of protection. Plus, you'll have some fresh herbs to add to your kitchen. And there you have it, 10 organic gardening tips to maximize your harvest this season. If you found these gardening tips helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to join our community of passionate gardeners. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a tip. I'll be giving a shout out to the most creative gardening tip in the next video, so share your ideas below. Remember, every garden blooms with possibilities when you embrace the power of organic gardening. If you know someone who could use these tips, make sure to share this video with them. Let's help each other grow. Happy gardening!